Welcome back, Tarot fam. We are examining Kevin Federline's book in this series. So buckle up, get your cup of tea, get your cup of coffee, get your cup of water, whatever you got. And we are now going to tackle, we're starting with chapter 2 now. So I don't know how many chapters we're going to get through in this, but we'll do about 20 minutes, give or take. So let's giddy up, kids. I'm going to bring up that card view. Make sure you hit that like button. And maybe I'm not going to bring up that card view. Where's my card view? Is that my card view? I think this one is my card view. So we're bringing up the card view. Hit the like button. We are on to chapter 2. And chapter 2 opens up with K-Fed returning from the LFO tour. They were opening up for Britney Spears. And he says he was coming into his own. He moved in with one of his friends. All of us had an apartment like this that had like a dozen or so people that were in and out. We were going bananas, having a great time. One question I want to ask is, how much partying was going on? Kevin has admitted that remains a pothead. How much partying was going on in those apartments? No judgment. 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, those Bonnie bygone days of having fun. Listen, we all had them. I had a, schlumpy kind of surfy snack shack when I was in college. Lots of people were there, lots of boards hanging around, lots of wet bathing suits and wetsuits and sand in the carpet. So, and there was lots and lots of partying going on. So, not gonna begrudge him. He's pretty young at this point. So, after the tour, he said his confidence was building. Is this confidence or cockiness? So let's do confidence or cockiness. And he actually says that in the book later on. So confidence, cockiness, confidence. I don't know how much confidence it was. Cockiness, yeah, he was being a little bit obnoxious. He got big for his britches on this one. So now, very interestingly, and just remember, this is a guy who said he saved all his money. Now he's living with a bunch of guys, bunch of dudes. So I don't think he saved his money. I'm just saying. He wound up getting recruited for Pink's world tour. He did not have to audition. It was word of mouth. This is something that happens in LA. He claims he has no idea how he landed it. Let's see. Did Pink hand select him? Did she say, I saw this guy on the tour. He looks good. I want those dancers from LFO. I think Pink saw them. Choreographer was on board with it. And she already saw them performing. So she was like, you. I'm a big fan of Pink. I love Pink a lot. He makes some comments about Pink that I think are shade at Britney. We're going to examine that as well. So I think Pink in collaboration with her choreographers and their connections, I think they did find him a spot. Over here, the Moon, they saw them perform. It's that simple. That's simple. So he talks of smoking weed and partying on the tour. And is he still in the same mindset? Like, is this where his adult mindset formed? Like, this is the place that I want to be. Magician in reverse. Yeah. I want to be in this space. We all have points of our life where we want to press pause and just kind of go back and stay there. This is one of those moments for him. So now just reference this. He calls Pink inspirational. And a lot of us, I don't like her politics, but a lot of us have some interesting things to look up to about Pink. She's an incredible athlete. She's an incredible singer. She's a great singer. Let me see. I'm going to find the passage here. I have these marked. So, she was young but grounded, no BS, all business. Most of the time, anyway. While we partied, she stayed disciplined, focusing on her craft and taking care of herself. She felt like one of us, but she had this undeniable star power, and she was much, much younger than him. I always say individuals that are incredibly fit, and I'm putting the Kardashians in this as well, that takes a discipline that you must cultivate. You don't get a body like J Lo or Paris Hilton or the Kardashians or Pink unless you really, really work at it. Unless you really are disciplined and you're not going to be sneaking bites of Chunky Monkey in the middle of the night out of your freezer. So, watching her navigate her rise to fame was inspirational. Calling Pink inspirational, is he sucking up to her now? Yes. Why? He feels that this is a relationship that he can cultivate and use to his advantage, but I don't think that it's going to work. I don't think Pink's going to be calling you up anytime soon going, hey, you want to collab? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's romantic. I don't think it's romantic. Did he have any romantic interest in her? She is adorable. She is adorable. Romantic interest in her. Oh, yeah. There it is. There's our guy. And we'll do a little bit of this. Yeah, so I think absolutely tried. I think he was trying. I think he was trying. Now, I'm going to get judgy here, guys. I'm going to get judgy here. Before heading to Australia, the tour ensemble was warned to empty their bags and not bring anything stupid. There are certain countries, Japan and Australia are two that I know. Russia is another one. We know that from Britney Griner. You do not bring anything sketchy into those countries. One of the things that my parents, God bless them, they taught us when we were traveling abroad is when you travel abroad, you are a guest in another country. So conduct yourself according to the laws, the rules, the regulations of that country. Don't act like an idiot. Essentially, don't do anything to draw attention to yourself. Don't break the rules. Don't break the laws. Just don't be stupid. So, Kevin Federline did do something stupid. He got drunk on the flight and was a spectacle. I think he says he possibly drank somewhere between, I think he says like 10 rum and cokes. Really, what are you at your uncle's wedding? Rum and cokes. He does say at one point that he does not drink well. He drinks foolishly. So when he finally got off the plane in Sydney, he could barely stand. The tour manager took a look at him and said, "You all right?" And he said something about having too many drinks. And he knew that he wasn't fooling anyone. Walking through customs felt like being funneled through a gauntlet. You either got a straightforward pass through or a detour into a high security inspection area. This is something when you are traveling, if you are holding anything that is sketchy, if you are doing anything sketchy, you should be as nondescript as possible. You should blend. You need to blend into it. So, of course, he gets pulled over. He was singled out and they bring him over. And any of you that have been through customs, there's a table and you've got a person who's going through your bag and they're, ripping everything out of it so they can see what you have in there. As they're emptying his bag, a gram of weed falls out. A dime bag. Lovely. falls on the counter. He feigns that he falls over and puts his hand on top of it and scoots it away to the floor where he kicks it under the table. The luck of this nitwit. Again, I'm trying not to be really judgy. They go through the whole bag. They're swabbing his bag for explosives with, it's a pretty big swab. And they're picking up bits of weed and stems stuck to the swab. So he's a winner. Guy's doing great. I want to examine. Did he think that he was just going to smuggle this dime bag in? Did he think he was going to do that? Was that the plan, K-Fed? Yeah, that was the plan. He thought he could pull it off. He did think that his world was ending and regretted it at the time. So as the story goes on, he claims, so he drops his lighter and bends over and scoops up the dime bag and shoves it in a pocket or something with the lighter, makes a whole big deal out of this. Drunk Kevin Federline. He claims that he dumped it in a garbage can on the way out. We're going to do this.
Fact or fake?
I got two. I think he kept it. I don't think he dumped it in the garbage can. What was his disposition after? Happy. Thought he was a smart guy. Knight of Pentacles. Wished he brought more. I don't think he wished he brought more, but I'm pretty badass. I got through the system. This guy thinks he's a Mac. I did say that. He thinks he's a Mac. And he's not. He is just a garden variety, lucky douchebag. I did say douchebag, and I actually was going to use so I was going to use some sound effects. So he is a bad. So I don't think I have good enough timing for that. So so he gets off the tour. They go on a horseback ride. One of the guys that they were with turned out to be allergic to the horse, and his whole face was swollen up, and they were miles and miles from civilization. That was a gift that Pink did for them. She took them on a little horseback tour, which was awesome. He says he saw things that he'd only seen like straight out of National Geographic. Really interesting. So good for him. That's one of the cool things when you go on tour, you get to see all kinds of crazy stuff. And you also get entree into some places that other people don't when you're going around with the artists, with the headliners. So the one guy had to get treatment. Tour was a pivotal chapter. It was a gateway and experience that opened doors for him. There were so many iconic choreographers and dancers involved in that project. It was like a creative melting pot that drew everyone's attention in the dance community. And she does do a lot of choreography and dancing. If you haven't seen any of her shows, she has a trapeze that goes on tour with her, and she's swinging all over the place like a maniac. It is unbelievable, and singing her heart out the whole time. I will tell you guys this, as a singer, one of the things when I was singing in bands, I would train on the treadmill. I would either walk fast or run and sing at the same time, because it does force you to really strengthen your vocal cords and your diaphragm, gives you a lot more projection. So not an easy task to be flipping around upside down, singing your little heart out. So good on you, Pink. So now he does, in this chapter, he does get to work with Michael Jackson. He says some cool things about Michael Jackson. It was actually, I think, the last project that Michael Jackson really worked on. He said Michael Jackson, when he came in to hear the rehearsal, he first listened to them dance. He actually closed his eyes with his glasses on, and he listened to them dance with the music, and then he had them dance with just the click track. And Kevin had a misstep, and he said as soon as they were done, Michael Jackson opened his eyes and knew exactly who it was. He knew that it was Kevin's first time in front of him, and he was like, just relax and like hear the music, feel the music, be part of the music. So very cool. I totally believe that story about Michael Jackson. Totally believe it, because Michael Jackson was amazing. Again, if you really want to get just a taste of Michael Jackson's genius, listen to what is it? The Smokey Robinson song, Still Loving You. He was, I think, 10 years old when he sang it, and it is flawless from start to finish. Michael Jackson, that is. So we also get introduced to Shar Jackson. So Shar Jackson was a celebrity in her own right. She worked on Moesha. I think that was, what most people know her from. She already had 2 children, and her family was helping her raise them. She was still very, very young. So as he proceeds through this relationship with her, she does get pregnant and she has a miscarriage. And he says that he wanted to try for another baby right away because he felt like he was financially stable. Was he financially stable, or was this just an opportunity to lock it down with a celebrity? Because I will tell you, being in Los Angeles, there is something about people locking it down with celebrities. And there are certain ways you do that. You either get them to move you in, or you get them to move in with you, or you get a baby, or you get married. You got to lock it down somehow. So was the attempt to have a baby with her an attempt to lock it down with a celebrity? That's the mama card. 2 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. I think yes. But I also think at the same time, he possibly realized that Shar Jackson had kind of hit a glass ceiling of celebrity somewhat. There is some more interesting things about this. He was very excited about the first pregnancy with their daughter, Corey. But it's during the second pregnancy that we're going to find out. Gregopedia was listening to this while I was listening to the book while I was working on my notes. And he goes, wait, she was pregnant with their second kid when he left her? And I said, yeah. And he was like, oh, what was your response, Greg?
Betrayed, bemused.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Good morning. So what was the difference in K-Fed's disposition for the first pregnancy and the second pregnancy with Shar Jackson? First one, 9 of Cups. I don't know if he was thrilled about that, but he did see opportunity to stick around. What about the second pregnancy? Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So I'm unfortunately gonna say this. I think he didn't want her to have the second baby. I think it was moment of passion, and I think he really was like, okay, I'm on my way out of this situation, which he does say during his courting of Britney Spears, that he was moving out of that sphere. So he said his priorities changed the first time he looked at his daughter Corey's eyes. Did that change? Did that change? I think he saw the dilution of the monies that were coming in, either by him or by Shar. I think he saw, one more baby, money is going to go into different places. There's going to be, that money's going to be earmarked for stuff. It's not going to be fun in the sun and nights at, the Beverly Hills Hotel in one of those bungalows. So what, Greg? Another mouth to feed. So it did change. So the move from Shar to Britney, and there's more details here, guys. So we're going to do more details. Did he think that Britney could open more doors for him professionally than Shar? Two of Wands, yes. Different. So where I think Shar was more acting, I think Britney was more music and dance. So I think Britney was different doors. Um, was it a better financial position for him? It sounds terrible. Absolutely. Four of Cups. He saw it as a better financial opportunity, but I think he also saw it as I can have my cake and eat it too. And I do think that the plan to keep Shar on ice, we're going to talk more about when that breakup actually happened in later chapters. I think keeping Shar on ice, he was playing both sides. I don't think he said he was paying child support the whole time. I don't think he was. That's just my opinion. So he had a friend going on the NSYNC tour, and he says he could not leave his daughter because of that. He says that it just he just couldn't leave her for that amount of time. And was that true? Well, I'm sorry, guys. We are actually already in chapter 3. I did not realize that. Is it actually true that he did not go or audition or try to get on the NSYNC tour because of his daughter? Is that true? No. Did he not get an invitation to audition? Yes. Not interested in doing that. So, yeah. He also claims in the same chapter, while he says I was financially stable enough to have a baby, he also says bills were thin and their electricity was getting shut off. Which was it? During his time with Shar Jackson, at one point, her whole family moves in with them. Her mother, her brother, her brother's girlfriend. And he says at 24, he was not ready for that dynamic. So were they broke? Were they struggling to support themselves? Yes, they had expenses. Was K-Fed pulling his weight? No, he was out and about having a great time. He wasn't buckled down. He wasn't doing what he needed to do. Did the family move in to help support Shar? Absolutely. Absolutely. They moved in to help her out. So we are in chapter 3 right now, but we're going to cut this because I don't want these videos to be so long that you can't watch them. Thank you for watching. Stick around. We're going to drop more videos on this, and I'll see you shortly.